Well, I want to point out something that goes wrong with these angle grinders. After a while, you got to clean the armature and the brushes. And I did it in my usual fashion. I'll show you what I did. But I picked up this other one. It was some Chinese jobber here for like 18 bucks. Noticed somebody stole the, probably know why it was discounted. Somebody stole a little rubber thing that goes off of there for when you rest it on the paint. We're going to put a piece of tire on there and epoxy it on that shit, so it always have a rubber thing anyway. I did my usual method of cleaning the brushes and the armature. I'll show you what I did, and it didn't work at first, and I'll show you what I had to do. I actually had to pull the brushes out and kind of sand them down a little bit, and then it worked. So that was the deal. The difference, I don't even know what the hell the difference is. I think these are all freaking made in China. Black & Decker's made in China. This is made in China. Skill's made in China. Guess Milwaukee ain't or something. You know, I don't know what the hell's not made in China. But I know one thing about this one. It don't have the, you see this up here? You can't screw it in up here. See that? So that could be, you know, if you're holding it like that, you want that handle on the outside. You don't have the screw for that. I guess you could tap it in there, but then it's not, whatever. It's 18 bucks. What do you want? It's a spare. That's the way I look at it. But I'll show you what I did to fix this, and what I thought would fix it, what usually fixes it, but didn't, which kind of surprised me. Now, there's just one little screw in the back of it, goes right there, and you know it screws in right back there, and it this just slides off, you know. And you got your armature here, and what you could do is you could take your paper, it's like, I don't know, 400 or 600 or something like that, and have the paper on there and spin this around and get it nice and shiny metal. And then take some electromotive cleaner and spray it on a rag. And you know, you could use starting fluid if you don't have the electromotive fluid cleaner, but just dry it out real good before you freaking use it. Starting fluid's very flammable. But you know, turn this, which will be turning that while that's going around after you clean it with the emery. I'll show you how that gets clean. Now you can see how nice and shiny clean that armature is. Now you know the brushes are dirty. What I usually do though, and it didn't work this time, what I usually do is I spray electromotive cleaner in there on the brushes while I'm spinning this around, then blow it all out with air, and man, I'm just surprised it didn't work. I actually had to take the brushes out, and there's just a couple screws here. See these? So it is. I think this screwdriver is magnetized. Yeah, see? You want a magnetized screwdriver. And they're very easy to come out. And it's like the brushes are all black, but obviously there's some kind of dirt on them that wouldn't come off with the electromotive cleaner. And you gotta lift them up. Down in here. Oh shit. You know, simple actually. There it is. See how it pops out? They're right there. And it's dirty, you know. So what I did was I took my emery, real fine shit, I think it's like 600 or something, cleaned them off, then I took a little bit of this, excuse me, right there, and you know, clean that off really good after it looked the same. I mean, it looked black, you know. I mean, it's whatever the hell that shit's made out of. And you know, that's the part that wears out. It's got like a little spring in here. See that spring right there? That's what keeps the tension on there. Yeah, as these wear down. This thing, see, this thing ain't even worn nowhere near, right? You know? So I don't know. And I was surprised that, you know, when I cleaned this off and I was blasting it with the electromotive cleaner and the compressed air, it wasn't enough to clean that shit off. And that's why I bought that, because I says, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this thing working that great, you know. And so when I was in Walmart, I happened to buy that for 18 bucks. I figured I could get this maybe going, but then I said, I'll just get that as a spare. So, but yeah, it works great now, as you saw. It's got all the power in the world. I want to also point out too, this is a really old face mask here. It's not really related to this, but you do use face masks with this all the time, right? This thing, you can see it's pretty clear. I mean, you look through this thing, it's like, it's pretty clear, man. It's got, some minor scratches on it, and you see how it's been fixed with zip ties? Bunch of zip ties, because it's plastic. It's cheap, it's a cheap one. But as usual, I get the maximum amount of life out of anything. What I do with this face mask is I clean it with that stuff called Awesome Cleaner. I'll bring it out and show you what it is. And sometimes I use my fingernails, not a scratch pad, but just something I can get the overspray off of it or something like that. And then after I clean it with the Awesome Cleaner, I go over it with furniture polish. And the furniture polish fills in a little minor haze and stuff. It's almost like a wax. And this thing's, I had this a few years now. I've used it quite a bit, and it's still nice and clear. And it's so old that these straps actually cracked, in several places. And see, cracked over there too. Still works, man. Still works. I'll show you what I mean by the Awesome Cleaner. That stuff actually cleans windows better than Windex, man. And then when you add the furniture polish to it, it really gets it nice and clear because it gets out those fine scratches. Well, here's that Awesome Cleaner that I use for cleaning the mask, and here's the pledge. So if you go over it like with that, your mask will last a lot longer. And also in the meantime, I installed a little rubber thing down here. Just out of an old tire. I kind of made a couple holes in there where those notches went, and put a little bit JB Weld on there to kind of hold it as a glue, but it doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere because it's got this heavy duty strap over the tie, what do you call that damn thing, zip tie over it, which holds it in there. But I noticed it's more rubbery and it's more stable. So it's an improvement over the original. So that's not too bad. That's why you don't throw away old tires and stuff, right? And it does work fine. So if you turn, because about 5 days ago I went to this is a grinding wheel, but I went over to use it to cut something with, and late at night I think it was up on an exhaust system, and I was like, the damn thing didn't work. I had to pull out the hacksaw. So I says, that's one of the reasons I picked up this extra one as a spare, because not that I don't plan on buying Chinese. Well, they're all Chinese, but it's a spare, man. It's a spare. So anyway, those are the tips of the day, and you probably could order this little plastic thing that goes over this too from eBay or something, but I kind of like this rubberized tire thing better. It's very soft. Sure as hell ain't gonna scratch your paint. Not that this paint matters any. Well, it's gonna get painted here some one of these days. Anyway, that's your MacGyver tip. Oh, by the way, I was cutting this heavy duty zip tie, and these are hard to cut with just a straight regular blade. And even though these were crappy serrations I made on this Rebel knife, the serrations were able to cut that way a lot better than a just a regular blade. So those serrations just came in useful right now. So I like this knife because it's got the Confederate flag on it, and so I made those serrations in it yesterday, and it says Rebel on it. Anyway, over and out. That's another Cooter special. And see that? We got Cooter's Garage right there. See that? Yeah. Cooter's Garage. Redneck parking only from Hazard County. That's the way we got to do things. That's the way we roll.